All right. Well, hello, and welcome everyone to our BG5 Live. Great to have each and every one of you here with us here today. Today is April 20th, 2021. This is episode 101. And today we're going to be taking a look at trait number 3. We're going to take a look at trait 3 in quality 5. We're also going to be taking a look at trait 27 because by next week we will have moved past 27. So we're going to be taking a look at both today. So what we're going to be focusing on today is overcoming confusion through caring. So we had a little confusion in getting on Facebook Live. So we have overcome that confusion, right, through caring, and we are now live. So with that, let's say hello to our panel. Again, Anna is not feeling well, so she won't be able to join us. So please send warm healing vibes to Anna that she gets better here soon. And then let's start with Linda. Linda, take it away. Hello,
yes.
Welcome.
Hello, yeah. Oh, yes, the floor is mine.
Yes.
Now I get confused. Yes, well, it's always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much for being here. And Natalie.
Yay! Happy to be here. Happy to help out with the Facebook.
Yay! Excellent. All right, so let's dive into overcoming confusion through caring. So let's start by just taking a look at the broad picture of this awakening the life force energy to know in April. So we are now in trait number 3. And again, 3 is in the energy resource. This is part of the life force energy. This is the energy resource. So we took a look at this initiative in 51, the ability to respond to shock through adaptation. We took a look at growth. We took a look at completing the cycle is at the heart of growth. What we are going to be taking a look at today is ordering. So I find it's kind of interesting. There's a shock, there's growth, and it's transcending that confusion to establish order and also nourishment in the 27, the compassion and energy to care for others in the 27. And then next week, we'll take a look at rationalization, right? That pressure to know. There is no proof or experience, only knowing. So I found it really interesting taking a look at today's chart. You can see it right here. One, there is so much definition. We can see that, we have 3 strengths defined. And so we can see there's patterns and rhythms. There's this custodianship. And there is this innovation, this change, this mutation. I also found it interesting that the 27 is here as well, since we're going to be covering the 27, because that is going to be happening in a few days. But we also have the 27 here in our communication as well as our values as well. So this nourishment and compassion and the energy to care for others is both in our communication and in our values currently also. I also highlighted the past and future direction because I wanted to talk about it really briefly, because this week we're also shifting to a new environment. So you can see right now we're in the 35-1 and the 5-1. That's our past and future direction. So let's just briefly take a look at where we are now and where we're going to be shifting starting on Friday, April 23rd. It's around 10:46 GMT time. We're shifting from this 5 as the past direction, the future as the 35, moving into the 9 and the 16. So it's a very different background frequency that we're moving into. So we're moving into a background frequency that is very focused on logic and very focused on details and skills. So if we take a look at the past direction, the 5-1, that's where we are now. It's fixed patterns. It's perseverance that we're currently in. If the captain must, he goes down with the ship. So I think that's interesting. Also, the future direction in the 35-1, progress is Humility, this is the ability to accept rejection. And one of the things about, and you've probably experienced this over the last couple months, is this feeling. 5 is sort of waiting, 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 waiting. We're waiting for progress. And it feels like I've been experiencing this waiting for progress. I'm sure many of you have as well. And so I'm really interested and curious to see what happens as we shift into, again, starting April 23rd. The past direction is it moves backwards when we take a look at the past and future direction. So you can see that we move from the 1 to the 6. So as far as the qualities go, so we move to trait 9, quality 6, and it feels like it's going to be a nice shift because the first one is gratitude, the joy which comes with accepting small rewards for small victories. So it feels like, okay, the waiting will hopefully finally be over, and then there'll be small victories that we can we can celebrate that. We can celebrate that. So, starting to hopefully move back to some kind of normalcy. Who knows? Maybe it won't, but maybe it will. I don't know. But this joy that comes with accepting small rewards for small victories, and also the 16-6. The 16 is actually a part of our current background frequency, as far as it's the illusion and delusion that we're in. And so the skill is gullibility, the susceptibility to propaganda. But it's also the ability to experience, examine, and reject misleading enthusiasm. So with this logic that we're moving into, it might be small victories, but also really understanding and getting down to the details and what is really going on, what is going on behind the scenes, maybe that we're not aware of, or where has propaganda been out there that we haven't been aware of, that we can now examine and reject anything that is misleading. So it feels like there's going to be some kind of shift as well. And interesting enough, when again, we're going to be taking a look at the 27 today as well. So on Friday, it'll also be in the 27. We can see it'll be in the 27 quality 2. And one of the things that's interesting about the 27, the life work theme of the 27, is the unexpected. So again, just putting together these different pieces, and it'll be interesting to watch. It'll be interesting to see as we go through this week, what may happen, or, maybe there's something unexpected, maybe not, but these are all things just to pay attention to this week. I would love to hear from Linda or Natalie if there's anything that you see, or anything that you notice, or anything that you look forward to in taking a look at this shift that we're headed towards in this upcoming week.
Oh yeah, because our government, they promised us from next week we have a small victory. The restriction in the evening is going away. Woohoo! And we can go out sitting on a terrace again until 6 o'clock. So it's a small victory. Really small, but it's a victory. So
exactly,
the waiting is over. So, and I was also having lots of not really struggling, but I was really feeling, okay, come on, just like with the springtime coming up, I just, when I take a look at my garden, I just want to let it all grow. I said, okay, come on, it's spring. but I really feel like, there will maybe things are going to move forward a little bit more. And I am really curious about the examination and rejection of misleading enthusiasm, because I really hope and I really feel that lots of propaganda about certain things. And that's what you kind of see through the news also about vaccines. Because first they are Minister of Health, he said, well, there are no side effects and the benefits are more huge than the side effects. And now they are turning and they say, okay, we'll stop with this vaccine. So I really hope that people will notice that the propaganda is not in our best interest and they are not really caring for us, maybe in a sense. So I am really curious about how things will unfold, because I really hope that the truth will emerge and that we will have a focus also on, and a gratitude for our own health and our own immune system, and also being alive at this moment. So yeah, I'm really feeling all kinds of things, and I'm just looking forward to the shift and what's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
But don't be too happy, Linda, because the government also decided that it will start on next Wednesday. And next Tuesday, we have our King's Day here in the Netherlands, which is a huge party. No, but we need to wait one more day before the terraces open, before the curfew is open, before the... No, because on Tuesday, it's still very...
And the virus is at its top. And then the day after, no. Yeah.
It's... it's a little small victory.
Yeah, it's really small. Yeah. Yeah, it's...
Anyway.
Crazy.
Yeah, so... Yeah, we're also going towards, spring, summer, although you had some snow again, Karen, I know that's really crazy. So I'm really, really happy that we are kind of done with the waiting, and going into gratitude and gullibility seems amazing.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what's going to be really important, no matter what your position or no matter what you believe or whatever position you take, taking a look at really just being grateful, the joy that comes with accepting small rewards for small victories, whatever those small victories are, and whatever you believe or whatever is correct for you. Taking a look at what is there to be grateful for, where can we put forth that gratitude, and also just paying attention to, what is the truth. I often say I believe everything and I believe nothing. So all those things could be correct. It could be correct that the vaccines are right. It could be correct that it's not right. I take everything with a grain of salt. And so, just kind of taking a look at, where might you have been gullible, or where might you, be caught up in propaganda and things, lies that appear truth. Again, we are still in illusion and delusion as the big background frequency that we're moving out of. And so I think this also starts to shine a light on, where are we gullible? Where is there that illusion and delusion? And again, just focus on these small victories as well. So again, wherever you are on the spectrum, it is all good. You see things exactly the way you're here to see them, and to really take a look at and just feel. I think it's always fascinating when the background frequency shifts, right? So again, this background, this environment, what we're going to be in, moving from this waiting for progress to really taking a look at the details and then celebrating those small victories. So I'm really looking forward to that. Cool. So something to pay attention to.
No.
Yes.
No, sorry. I'm talking to my cat.
Oh.
My cat is just running around. I'm like, what do you want? Do you want to go here or do not? Anyway.
Yeah, confusion. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
It's everywhere. Yeah.
So let's take a look at that. Let's dive into quality 3. Quality 3, or I'm sorry, let's take a look at trait 3. Let me back up here. Let's take a look at trait 3. And trait 3 is about ordering. So we can see it's kind of like these puzzle pieces, right? When you just see a bunch of puzzle pieces, it doesn't quite make sense. But as you start to link them up, as you start to put them together in a particular order, things start to make sense. This is also difficulty at the beginning. I don't know if you guys have experienced it this week, but I've just felt like it just feels like it's been difficult to kind of get things going. It's been difficult to kind of focus on things. It's been difficult to just kind of get things moving. It just has felt a little bit more stuck for me. And then it's like, oh, okay, I can see why. We're in trait number 3. Mutation and change is generated and empowered. And this is the ability to transcend confusion and establish order so that something new and potentially viable can take hold. Now, remember, this is also part of the strength of of innovation. There we go. Sorry, my mind is a little confused there. It's part of the strength of innovation as well. So it is about bringing forth something new. And it operates in an on-off pulse, and it operates in its own timing. So one of the things, we took a look at the cycles last week, right? With the 42 beginnings, middles, ends, beginnings, middles, ends as one of the formats, beginnings, middles, ends. Here we have the individual format that is not there, not there, not there, not there, there, right? Nothing's happening, nothing's happening, nothing's happening. Boom, something happens. So it operates in this on-off pulse of its own timing. You cannot determine, you cannot force the timing. The timing happens when the timing happens. So it is about waiting for the right timing for the structures needed for the new to settle into place, right? So so when something new happens, or when something new is brought forth, it takes a while for people to accept often what is new. So it takes some time to also settle, but also takes time to the right timing to reveal what's new as well. So you will need patience. So patience is still needed. You will need patience to accept the occasional bursts of energy and the limited release of potential. Again, it's not there, it's not there, it's not there. You have to have patience, and then boom, it's there. So realize that things are happening below the surface, even though we may not be able to see it yet. Just like what Linda was talking about earlier with spring in your garden, right? Wanting to see everything come up and waiting. It looks like nothing's happening, right? Until the flowers, finally, reach the surface of the soil. So again, that patience that's necessary as well. So I would love to hear both from Linda and Natalie, and also anyone who may have trait number 3. I think Anna has 3, but I don't think any of us have trait 3. So if any of you who are live here in Facebook or live in our Zoom room, if there is anything that you would like to share, particularly if you have this particular trait, we would love to hear how it shows up as well. So would you like to start, Linda?
Yes. Well, for me personally, I was also having a little bit trouble this week to begin, and I was just making lists and lists and lists and just prioritizing. Okay, I have to do this, and then I have to do that, and I just thought, why am I doing this? I just have to start. So it was really like if I was conscious of that I had to do things that I normally just do. So it was, like a pressure. Mm. And I also saw that the 60 also was present. So I really also felt, because my driver stamina is open, so I really felt stressed kind of to also do everything that I have written on my list. So I know it's the background frequency, but I really have to calm myself and just do things. But with this trait, I also feel, also with clients I work with that have this trait, I always tell them it's like like you are going to cook something, and you have a big pan and all the ingredients are there, but it has to cook, slow cook, and it has to be, it has to mix and it match, and you really feel, is it ready to eat? When is my menu ready or my meal ready? And suddenly the nicest smells and flavors are coming to you, and then your meal is ready and it's better than you ever could imagine. But I really can see sometimes people really struggling with nothing's happening, because they want, they think, well, nothing is really going on. I have to do something, and maybe they have to initiate things, and I really feel like it's a surrendering process, because everything in life, that's also how I feel like life is emerging for us or is playing out for us. It's in its own order. Everything has its own timing and its own place in the order of things. And being more aware of that, because I initiated lots of things in my life and now more able to surrender, I can really see that things happen in the right timing, and then the energy that's behind it is the right energy and will bring new things and bring you maybe in a new direction that you could never have imagined. So I really feel this is it's a really strong trait. It's imitative. It will bring maybe more order to your place in the scheme of things also. So that's how I feel about this trait.
Yeah, really beautifully shared. And I think one of the things that you mentioned too, that I think is really important to be aware of, is because we have had the 360, and the 60 is in truth and transformation. And so we have this truth and transformation down here in the 60, and we have this mutative force. So we have this entire strength, and especially if you have the drive and stamina, this function right here, if you have drive and stamina undefined, for example, I think we all have it, or not, Natalie has it defined, but Linda and I do not have it defined. And so therefore you can end up being in a hurry, right? And then not trusting the timing of everything. So I think really, really good point. Thank you so much, Linda. How about for you, Natalie?
So for our Facebook guests, now Lisa Murray is on the Facebook, and she has trait 60, and now with trait 3, she has moved to new work in this week, literally, work that she loves and ready to move into. And I'm guessing due to the shift of the background frequency coming through, it's giving me that extra focus. And then also she shares love connecting with a third lines. Is that Moxie?
Yes.
Not on camera, but just, out there. Anyway, so sorry. So love to connect with third traits, trait 3. Always transformative and mutative conversations, which is nice.
Yeah.
There she is.
Moxie has to say hello.
Wow, yes. And so it is very, very mutative, creative, transcending force, right? This third line, this third quality, and
trait.
Yeah, exactly. So confused. Now, I once had a client, and she worked in an HR position temporarily. I don't know how you call that, as an HR manager for a company, and there was a lot of confusion in the company, right? And actually, there were two different smaller organizations merging together. So they had to get aligned. And then she was like, I can do this, but everybody has such an opinion about it, and da-da-da. And she was kind of, and I was like, well, this is what you bring, to transcend the chaos and confusion and get it in an order and in a new. So it really helped her to learn about her design, because it was her, her power, and it was a larger organization. So to really dare to create this innovative new policy on HR.
Right. So she steps in, there's difficulty at the beginning, and then starting to see what all of the different pieces are, why it's so chaotic, where things need to fit and how things need to move, and then slowly start to order them so they start to make sense, like putting together pieces of the puzzle. All of a sudden, the picture of the puzzle starts to emerge, where before it was just a bunch of pieces.
Yeah, and the interesting thing also is the individual creative force is really here to bring change and transformation. And we as peoples, we as humans do not like change, right? But the only way to evolve and to move forward is through change, right? So this is also it's a strength of stamina as well to just be with it until there is order out of the chaos and something new will arise. Yeah.
And sometimes that change too can be also a quantum leap. That's part of this format as well, is that, again, it seems like nothing's happening, and then boom, you're right. There's some kind of big change that we become aware of, or that, comes into our experience. So, and again, this is individual. So this brings forth the individual change. This particular trait is also deeply connected to the birth cycle as well as the death cycle as well. So I find that also fascinating, because it really is that individual trait connected to the energy resource that is directly connected to the drive and stamina. So that pressure, and also it being that format strength, that is very, very powerful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And any other shares from those within our Zoom room?
Well, there's one share. So we have a mental advisor who has the third trait in her unconscious values, I believe, to say it correctly. But she's sharing that, through the chaos of 2020 and having the trait 60 on the other side, it's still feeling confused, right? Like it's all over the board and not settling in. And it seems that just about the time that I feel the chaos is settling into some organized manner of a start, it comes completely undone. So just being patient with that process and knowing what it's like when it does organize. So that's the way to go. Nothing's happening, or it's not working out until all of a sudden in a pulse, it will.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And as we take a look at quality 5, so this is trait 3 in quality 5. Quality 5 is victimization. So again, when we take a look at quality 5, this is the messenger. So when actions designed to overcome confusion alienate others. I thought this picture was like the perfect picture to really illustrate this, because it can be, if we take a look at the elevation, it's the unique energy of individuality to withstand confusion, the courage to stand by one's convictions. So you can see the one person that's climbing up the ladder over here, really standing by their own convictions, right? The ladder keeps going up. On the other side, the challenge, it's the confused energy, which is dominated by the ordering power of others. Victimization leads to appeasement and suffering, right? So everybody else is over here kind of struggling, trying to figure out where to go. And when actions designed to overcome confusion alienate others. So in a sense, by taking your own stand, by having the courage to stand by your own convictions. You may have a clear path up. However, it may alienate others because everybody else is kind of lost in their own chaos and their own confusion. And you can see all this sort of chaos and confusion over here versus standing, by your own convictions. So I think one of the things that's really important is really taking a look at what is true for you, right? And standing by whatever your convictions are. And sometimes it may alienate people. I've had conversations with people that, we disagree on certain things. And, in me standing in what I believe, I honor where everybody else stands as well. But sometimes, right, it can alienate others when you are standing in a different position and not kind of going along with the crowd. It's kind of misery loves company. Oftentimes that's part of the victimization. So you can often see that as well. All right. Anything that either Linda or Natalie that you would like to add?
I feel like this is really about empowerment. This is really from a place of feeling your own energy, radiating it out, but from a place of trust and surrender. And then, bring the message and maybe inspire others, because I also notice when I have discussions with people that they sometimes, maybe a few days, maybe a few weeks or months later, they come back and they say, well, what you shared, at first I thought, I felt a little bit alienated. Yeah, I've really, and I also thought about you that you were, but now, maybe with the pulse, they suddenly realized, oh, maybe there's something to it. And maybe if I hold my ladder straight up instead of going sideways, I can also climb to progress or to a new world, or I have a different view on or a different perspective on things. So I really feel that it's the courage. And then with that courage, you empower others to also feel their own courage, because it's about your truth. What do you believe?
Yes.
And then it's really interesting with the upcoming, if you have this trait also in your design, but with the upcoming change of the background frequency, what is the illusion, what is the disillusion, and what makes sense to you? So
exactly. And I think that's a good point. With the change in the background frequency, we are moving to the era of the individual, right? And the era of the individual is being able, the courage to stand by your own convictions, to the courage to be, what is true for you, right? And what I say maybe not be true for you, and vice versa. But we can still honor each other's points of view, and not have to, try to do things like everybody else is doing it.
Exactly. And I also feel with the energy, because this is all about energy, that you will attract the right people in the right ordering, in the right timing to collaborate with or to discuss things with. So I really feel that then things will fall into place if it will come from a place of authenticity. Yeah. Then you are radiating out who you are, without any how do you say, static in the frequency. And then and if you are really from an individual standpoint, then you can really see and overlook everything. And now what you see, it's a beautiful picture. It's a mess and it's confusing. And I really feel it's, for us, it's time to entangle, because now I see the world as those ladders all caught up in the disillusion. And I feel like we are going to stand in our own power and just have a real different view on the world and also on each other, and just honoring our own convictions, and also take a look at, okay, what will match, and what do I feel what's good for me, instead of being caught up in all these systems and all the rules and everything that's now playing a part in our world. So I really feel it's a beautiful picture to get a feel of how the shift will be.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Anything, Natalie, that you would like to add?
Oh, I love that. So beautiful said, Linda. I'm just curious about our celebrity for today, but yeah.
Oh, great, great. Well, I also want to make sure that we cover 27 as well, because we are going to be moving into 27 of Nourishment here in a couple of days. So Nourishment is in the 27th. And this is the capacity and the energy to care for the weak, the sick, and the young. This is also to nourish and nurture through the power of compassion, right? So particularly if you have this particular trait, it's you care, and it is about caring. You must care for yourself first, however, in order to have the energy and resources to care for others. And you can easily end up sacrificing yourself or your own well-being in taking care of others. So you have to be very careful there. Nourishment or nurturing given without awareness is a waste of precious resources. This, once again, is a trait that is connected to the energy resource, just like the last two traits we took a look at with the 3, and last week when we took a look at the 42. One of the things that's really key with all of these traits is feeling the correct use of energy. And again, the correct use of energy here, when we're taking a look at the 27, is nurturing and nourishing others. But again, just like, in the airlines, you have to put on your mask first before you assist others in putting on their mask. It's the same thing. You must first be nourished before you can nourish others. And if it is given without awareness, it's a waste of energy. It's a waste of resources. So it's one of those things that you must, in a sense, especially if you're a builder, you must respond to, before nourishing. It is a generative trait. It's part of a generative strength. And so it really is making sure that you're using your energy in a proper way. So Natalie or Linda, anything that you would like to add? Yeah, Natalie.
Yeah, so my sister has this in her core essence, and it's interesting. She is a self-projected a self-advisor, and has the strength of creativity, inspiration, right? That's her only strength. So and everyone, so she's done education in creativity, she's done art academy, and they're always projected on her that she is so very creative, right? And then she didn't get why she works with homeless people for 20 years now. Homeless people and people with a large distance to society and etc., or having a psychiatric background, whatever. But her life work is caring. And this and then going through her design with her was so beautiful for her to be recognized, right? That it is her essence in caring. And caring for yourself first is difficult. It usually is for those that have this trait, because they just want to give and nourish and care and easily end up sacrificing themselves. But now in her later years, or so to say, going to her 40-year milestone, she finally gets the thing about caring for yourself first, right? But it is hard to say, no, I can't right now, or no, I need to do something for myself instead of helping you, or whatever, right? It's really supportive, this energy. And so I've got a special bond with the 27.
Yes, exactly. And that's and it's fascinating too. This is in her life work, and she's working with the homeless as well. So it's
Exactly.
really that, caring for the weak and the sick and the young.
And from a very early age on, she was still a student when she started there as a volunteer, and rolled into it, and now she is actually guiding volunteers to do the work, etc. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Natalie. How about for you, Linda? Anything that you would like to add?
Yes, I'm also familiar with this trait because my mom has this trait, not in her essence. I don't know where she has it, but this is my mom. And if I just take a look at how she takes care of her granddaughter, my sister has a daughter. It's amazing. She just knows what to do. She just knows how to take care. And I'm always thinking, okay, a diaper. Oh, how do I do that? And but she's just born with a really the energy to really, how do you say that? Really get the best out of for others. Always really feeling what the other needs, and for her it's a pitfall as well that she takes care of others before herself. So it was really wonderful for me when I get to know her design, and she's really enthusiastic about this information that I could share. Here you see, Mom, you also have to take care of yourself. Because she's always putting herself last. But that's because she's also really, tribal. She expects something in return, and that's not always what's happening. And then she has a wave, and then it crashes. And so in my childhood, I really felt nourished, but I also sometimes felt something had to be in return. She needed also the recognition for her caring. So it's amazing to see her natural gift to how she guides my sister in raising a child, but also I really feel nourished when I'm with her. So it's wonderful. It's a beautiful trait, and I'm really curious how it feels when it's in our background frequency, and maybe instead of the pressure of with the pressure, because the 360 will be there, maybe a longer time, we have to really take care of ourselves.
Yes,
also
exactly.
Nourish ourselves also, because sometimes you have to.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, again, in the next couple of days, we're going to be moving into trait 27. So, really taking a look at where can you take care of yourself? Where are you not using your energy properly? And where are you giving nourishment and nurturing, without this awareness, right? And wasting your precious energy. So it's one of the things to take a look at. It's really interesting if you take a look at the 3 and then the 27, the 3 is like birthing something new, right? There's problems at the beginning. If you think of birth, it's kind of, something happens all of a sudden, and it can be kind of traumatic, right? Trouble at the beginning. And then you need to nurture it, to take care of it. And this is really the tribal. It's a tribal from the individual, kind of like an individual birth, to this nurturing and making sure that, this new life, this new birth is then taken care of and nourished. So it really goes hand in hand. Beautiful. So some things to look forward to in this upcoming week. Last piece here, we can take a look at Queen Elizabeth II, British royalty. She's been in the news a lot recently. with the passing away of her husband. And her life work theme is of wishes, altruistic, seductive, and influential. You're always looking for possibilities which make life better for others, seeing and reordering things in a new way. Right. So Queen Elizabeth does have this also in her as her life work theme. So you can see she has the 3 in quality 5 as her life work. So really beautiful. All right. So we're going to wrap up for today here in just a moment. So I want you to be thinking, and if there's any comments also, I'd love to hear those as well, as far as what to look out for this week. Again, you can download your chart at bg5businessinstitute.com and take a look at, do you have trait 3 or do you have trait 27 or not? You can also follow BG5 Live, taking a look at the traits as they change. If you go to the website, go to BG5 Live. You can also watch our past episodes in our free resource library, as well as on YouTube. And again, check out our courses and programs. We have new courses that are coming up here in May really soon. We have several that just started in April also. And we have tomorrow, Tuck and I are doing a little mini summit. So we invite you to join us for our little mini summit as well. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. And first, Linda and Natalie, what are some things to pay attention to this week or be aware of this week? That we can really, that'll help us move through this next week. And I would love to hear also if there's any additional comments as well. Do you want to start with are there any additional comments, Natalie?
No, actually they're not. Well, there's one. Bloody marvelous as always. Thanks. From Lisa Murray.
Love it.
Yeah.
So what, from your perspective, Natalie, what should people be paying attention to this week?
Well, so it's interesting that we are shifting into this environment of celebrating small victories and what was the other one again? Real kind of positive things to look forward to, for me at least. And then having the trait of caring there, right? And or nourishment. So yeah, I just see a lovely world coming. I don't know. So maybe more warmth in the world and how we treat each other. And yeah, so looking forward to this week and see how that unfolds. That's yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Natalie. And how about for you, Linda?
Yeah, I can totally echo with that. And also with the background frequency that there is gratitude. And I really feel that gratitude and nourishment are both really beneficial for our health and our well-being. It's really important, especially in those times of restrictions, because there is different energy is playing around. We never experienced this, that we can see the things that are there are still there, and maybe it's not what we are used to have or what we like to have in our world, but just have gratitude for things that do unfold, and maybe also with a little bit the 3, maybe, or the unexpected from the 27, just the surrendering to what's going on in the world, and grateful for being grateful for what is, and also grateful for that in this part of the world we are going towards better weather and more sunshine, and it makes me feel really grateful. Nourishment for ourselves, take care of yourself first in order to take a look. Okay, if you work with clients, you have to be also, you need your rest, and I'm also talking to myself now, and then working with clients. Yeah, and I feel, just surrender, be aware, and enjoy life. And maybe there will be some unexpected twists and turns, and I'm really, really, really curious what pops up.
Yes, exactly.
So, yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Linda. And thank you everyone who has joined us today. Again, it's going to be an interesting week with the shift in the background frequency. Again, moving from this, overcoming chaos, this ordering of the three, moving into that nurturing. And just like both Linda and Natalie said, take care of yourself, be gentle with yourself, nurture yourself, and then where and when you see it, and when it's necessary, when it's recognized, when it's invited, take care of others as well. So not only take care of yourself, but using your energy properly when it's there and when it's proper to then nurture and take care of others as well. So I would love to hear as we go through sort of this shift in the background frequency, moving into this gratitude for small victories. What are the small victories that you're achieving, and where do you have gratitude? I think the more that you bring gratitude, again, no matter what happens, the ups and downs, when the craziness, bringing that gratitude towards any small victory. Sounds really beautiful. So I'm looking forward to that as well. All right, everyone, have a fabulous week, and we'll see you all next week. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.